Okay, well, this is just a review and kind of a final part of the 5 love languages. So once again, words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, act of service, physical touch. The question that some people have had in the past is, do the love languages work in other cultures? As you can see, this is by Chapman. He says, since my academic background is anthropology, this was my question when a Spanish publisher first requested permission to translate and publish the book in Spanish. He said, we've read the book and it works in Spanish. Then they tried other languages and it does. What they did talk about is that there's different dialects from culture to culture. Were you guys from Miami? No. There was a couple last week from Miami. And if you notice down there, everybody comes up and they kind of, to the side when they greet each other. So it still works, but there's some little dialects on that. Okay. All right, this is what we're going to discuss for the 5 love languages. So we have 4 of you here who can answer those. We are all likely guilty of poor choices in the past. If not dealt with, how can hurt, anger, and resentment affect a marital relationship over time? Those of you who are married, that's easy. How does it affect it?
It deteriorates the relationship.
Right, it deteriorates it.
Sometimes very subtly.
Correct. Over a period of time, if you don't address the little angers or resentments, and people go, oh, no, I don't need to do counseling, or oh, I don't need to talk to anybody, or no, I don't need to discuss it with my spouse, then that anger and resentment builds up. Okay, number 2, how can our expressions of love within the context of knowing our spouse's love language enable us to deal with past conflicts and failures in our marriage? So, was this the first time for you guys to take the love language?
I took it at work.
Okay. But looking back over the years, can you see how that has affected your relationship, not knowing maybe his love language, and same way with you? So that's what it says, is you can go back as a couple now and kind of look, oh yeah, that makes sense why we were fighting over that, or why they seemed hurt more than normal, that they shouldn't be hurt. Okay, and within some marriages, what is the key to renewing and re-energizing emotional love? What's the key? We got 5 people here that have done it.
Ooh.
Yes?
I think the answer might be knowing your spouse's love language and filling his or her emotional tank.
Right, because just because you know it now, doesn't mean you still aren't going to, you need to work on it. And if you don't work on it, then it's not really going to go anywhere.
Margaret,
okay? Yes?
In counseling, if you don't mind me asking this question, do you find in most relationship issues, I'm sure there are many reasons, but is this a common reason why people come in for counseling? Because they've detached from one another, and it's because they don't understand their spouse or don't try and meet their needs?
Sometimes, not always. Yeah, but I would say that that's probably a bottom line to kind of a top thing for communication. But then you have to go into other areas of communication. Sometimes people just don't fight fairly, so that doesn't have anything to do with with the 5 love languages. It does in a sense, but not always. Okay.
Would you also then say that maybe, and I don't know whether this is correct or not, but infidelity is often caused by just the fact that one spouse is not meeting the other's emotional needs?
It can be.
But not always.
Not always, because like with infidelity nowadays, with everything on TV, some people never enter marriage with the idea of fidelity. So older couples, I would say that was true in the past, that something was broken in the marriage, they didn't meet each other's needs. But I wouldn't necessarily say that today, not with the young people. So Okay, so love is a choice. Can anybody guess this one? Shop, give gifts. Huh? Gifts. Okay, which one is this one? Cook, help, service. This one? Dream, explore, laugh. What? Okay. Okay, this is easy. Hug, kiss, physical, adore, like. What is it? What is it? I know, that's yours. Okay. Okay. If you want to learn more, and I'm going to go through the old tapes for some of you while they're taking a quiz, okay? So you guys understand a little bit better. But you can visit 5lovelanguages.com and get a free I don't get paid for this, I'm advertising this. But there is so much on that website, if you've gone to it. He now has books on anger, he has books for teenagers, he has all sorts of stuff, little videos. So I encourage you to do that. I'm now going to go on. I'll come back for you guys in a few minutes, but I'm going to do the next section. Please understand me for the new people. We're going to do this just a little extra today to find out if you're extrovert, introvert. We're going to go over what the meanings are. Extroversion versus introversion. Extroverts draw energy from people. Okay? Introverts draw energy by being apart from people or very few people. Extroverts are very lonely when alone, and introverts can be lonely in crowds. You said you think you're an introvert, right? Do you feel sometimes when there's a bunch of people that you don't know, do you feel kind of lonely?
Oh, yeah, that's worse than anything.
Yeah, and an extrovert, oh, people. Okay? All right, extrovert, I'm staying in tonight. Introvert, I'm staying in tonight. Okay? It says, which one are you? You're going to find out on the quiz, okay? Extroverts, I have to stay in. We just did that. The second pair of psychological preferences, and this one's, I'm explaining these because this is what you're going to come up with when you take the little quiz. Okay? Do you pay more attention to information that comes in through your five senses, that's sensing, or do you pay more attention to patterns and possibilities that you see in the information you receive? That would be intuition. And of course, we all spend time with both. Okay? Sensation versus intuition. All right. The preference refers to how we gather information. We all need data on which to base our decisions. We gather data through five senses. Jung contended that there are two distinct ways of perceiving the data that we gather. Intuitors, I have the best idea to solve world hunger. Sensors, okay, but what are we having for dinner tonight? That's you. Okay. Concrete, dream. Sensing, paying attention to physical reality, what I see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. I'm concerned with what is actual, present, current, and real. Jerry is definitely that, and I'm the other one. And you'll see how that works as a couple in a little bit, okay? I like to see the practical use of things and learn best when I see how to use what I'm learning. Experience speaks to me louder than words.
There's no other way.
Now, what you want to do in marriage is you recognize the strengths in each other and use it. If you fight over it, how you perceive it, then you're going to, you'll fight all the time. Jerry finally has come around that he realizes sometimes my intuition is right. And so, all right, sensing the sensing function focuses on compiling information from experiences and utilizing in-the-moment information by finding patterns in things touched, tasted, seen, heard, and felt. Intuition, paying the most attention to impressions or the meaning and patterns of the information I get. I would rather learn by thinking a problem through than by hands-on experience. I'm interested in new things and what might be possible so that I think more about the future than the past. I like to work with symbols or abstract theories even if I don't know how I will use them. I remember events more as an impression of what it was like than as actual facts. He's nodding his head. So, all right, so intuition. I would say most therapists are, what do you think? Intuition. Okay. Thinking versus feelings. That's the third one. When Jung studied human behavior, he knows that people have the capability to make decisions based on two very different sets of criteria, thinking and feeling. When someone makes a decision that is based on logic and reason, they are operating in thinking mode. When someone makes a decision that's based on their value system or what they believe to be right, they are operating in feeling mode. We all use both modes for making decisions, but we put more trust into one mode or the other. Again, neither one's right or wrong. We tend to think if we have that one, we're right. But neither one is right or wrong. And what you want to do as a couple is learn how to put it together. Thinking. When I make a decision, I like to find the basic truth or principle to be applied regardless of the specific situation involved. I like to analyze pros and cons and then be consistent and logical in deciding. I try to be impersonal, so I won't let my personal wishes or other people's wishes influence me. I believe I can make the best decisions by weighing what people care about and the points of view of persons involved in a situation. I'm concerned with values and what is best for people involved. I like to do whatever will establish or maintain harmony. In my relationships, I appear caring, warm, and tactful. Now you can see, and I'm not getting into politics, but you can see politically how that affects people. Thinking, feeling, morals. Okay? Pros and cons. Okay? Judging versus perceiving. This is the last one, and then I'm going to give you the quiz. Judging and perceiving preferences within the context of personality types refers to our attitude towards the external world and how we live our lives on a day-to-day basis. People with a judging preference want things to be neat, orderly, and established. The perceiving preferences want things to be flexible and spontaneous. Okay, so be thinking about yourself and your spouse when you're doing this. Okay, judgers. I make a schedule for every day of our vacation. Perceivers. There's a schedule for every day of our vacation? I didn't say anything, Jerry. I'm just looking. Okay, judging versus perceiving. What's the plan? What's the worst that can happen? Judging. I use my decision-making preferences, whether it's thinking or feeling, in my outer life. To others, I seem to prefer a planned or orderly way of life. Like to have things settled and organized, feel more comfortable when decisions are made, and like to bring life under control as much as possible. Since this pair only describes what I prefer in the outer world, I may inside feel flexible and open to new information. Do not confuse judging with judgmental in its negative sense about people and events. They are not related. Perceiving, I use my perceiving function, whether it's sensing or intuition, in my outer life. To others, I seem to prefer a flexible and spontaneous way of life, and I like to understand and adapt to the world rather than organize it. Others see me staying open to new experiences and information. Once again, the outer world. And that's it. So I'm going to hand out, for the two of you, I'm going to go through some of the love language. This was the 4th week, so I'll show you that in just a minute, okay? The rest of you, I'm going to hand this out.